I was born in Lincoln, Nebraska. Uh, Yay. So that's like Cornhusker country. It's good folks and good schools and snow all the time. Snow, snow, snow. So you're guaranteed a blizzard at least once a year. I have a brother who is 7 years older than I am, which was sort of built-in babysitting for my parents. And 2 years before I was born, he and my mother were at the grocery store, and there was a box that said free puppies on it, with a person there, of course. And he said, oh, I want a puppy. And he reached in and he picked up this black and white puppy, and that was it. He was in love with her, and he named her Charlie, which at the time was risque because it was the 60s. And there was no gender neutrality or anything like that. It was like, oh my God, a girl named Charlie. But he loved Charlie Brown, so he named her after the Peanuts character. Peanuts was a comic strip, if you don't know. In a newspapers, they had ads and Peanuts, and they had real porn movie ads, like real movies, but porn, because they showed them in real theaters. Like, if you haven't seen Boogie Nights, go see Boogie Nights. Anyway, I asked my mom one time, what is the erotic adventures of Pinocchio? And she was like, okay, so. Anyway, so I remember Charlie was an outdoor dog, which they have in Nebraska. And that meant that she could not come indoors, but she would occasionally get indoors and zoom around and be like, I'm in the fucking house, I'm in the house. So, and then she'd roll over on her back and be like, bellies, and then my parents would kick her out. And she also was not spayed because my parents were not ignorant people. They were selfish fuckhead people. And so instead of, spending money to spay the dog, they spent money on alcohol and bridge parties and alcohol for the bridge parties and mixed nuts for the bridge parties, including the fucking filbert, which is a fucking bastard nut, by the way. It's like it's like a slug's foot. So Charlie would inevitably, every spring, she would crawl under the redwood fence, go get knocked up, come back, have puppies under the bush in the backyard, and then we had free puppies, the box and everything, giving away free puppies. And so I remember the blizzard of '74 for two reasons. One, when my dad picked me up from school in our red Subaru with station wagon with paneling, we hit an ice patch, and he was steering into it, and I was going, wee! And then we pulled over, and he was like, and I was like, again, because I was 6. I had just turned 6. The other thing that I remember is that Charlie was pregnant, and she never was pregnant during the winter, so it was really weird. But because she was an outdoor dog, she had to sleep in the garage during the wintertime. And so that blizzard was insane. And because my parents were sort of fuckheads and not really responsible for anything but their own foibles, she had the puppies in a cabinet in the garage, and a snowdrift went in and they froze to death. And she sat at my father's feet and looked up at him, and he had a black garbage bag, and he was just putting them in like little potatoes. And I didn't cry. My mother cried, but I didn't, because at that age already, I'd had so much taken away from me that it was like, well, what's a bunch of puppies? And then I blocked it out years and years and years. And then when I moved to New York, the first snow, it came back to me, and I started to cry. And I wanted to go back and just take them. And I wondered, did they suffer? Did they hurt? Did Charlie know what was going on? Did they die peacefully? Were their eyes even open yet? And I wanted to take them and put them under the covers and just take care of them. And I wanted to do the same thing for myself, because at the age of 6, frozen dead puppies should not be an acceptable loss. We asked my mother several years later, my brother and I said, why did you not spay Charlie? She said, I wanted you to experience the miracle of birth. Did it hurt when you pulled that out of your ass? Because that's where you got it from. And she just would say, I didn't know. She didn't know a lot. My brother and I are fine. We're happy. We're alive. And my brother and his wife have 5 rescue dogs. Whoopsie. Millie, Lulu, Winnie, and Roxy. And my husband and I have one rescue, Buddy, who is a one-eyed Bichon poodle with an attitude. And we let our dogs go wherever the fuck they want.